Okay, I'm back. 11. These three. Alright, so here's the plan. We're gonna fight, what's his name? Ceaseless Void. And that's it. God, it's hard to see. Fuck. Yeah, it's really hard to see. Oh, also I forgot to run serious. Oh, shit. Come on. 6 minion slots for that. Six. Nine. Oh wait, did I just fuck it up? I do. Six, 9, 11. Alright. Again. God damn. Should I be running mage instead? Try one more time. Yeah, maybe I should just do this. Damn it. Oh my lord. Damn it. What if I just... Oh, whoops. We need to break all that. Hell. That kind of went better, honestly. Huh? What the hell? Oh. I don't really know what to do there. Shit's really difficult. I was doing better with the melee setup though. But let's try magic. What if I ran Heart of the Elements on the summoner? Sure. We'll see. Fucking hell. Honestly, I don't know, maybe. Dark Sun Fragment. Star Shot. Let's see how this goes. I don't know what the strategy really should be here. Range? I don't know. Where's my sentries? Rainbow crystal staff? Oh no. Sanctified spark. Maybe. Actually. What? All right. Oh no, I don't have any potions. Mhm. I might check the Calamity loadout checker. Well, to be honest, I think I'm like past it, to be honest. I don't know, maybe I should fight like Stormweaver or Cygnus instead. Uh, how powerful is Nuclear Fury? Affliction. That's not bad, actually. Is this the right setup for this? Oh, come on. that was terrible, but honestly, I could just try that again. God, I hate these things so much. I don't know if I'm just doing the wrong type of damage or something. I don't understand. Also, I have no health potions. Can't use those, definitely not. Don't even think so. Send insignia. It's a rogue item. I don't know. I'm kind of just not motivated anyway. I mean, I want to play games and stuff. I want to play on stream, but I don't know. God. Ah. Oh, I'm so dumb. I didn't even equip the thing, man. Whatever, just don't get hit, alright? Fucking hell, like he just jumps into me, like on me. Jesus Christ. Where is... Oh. This is supposed to be only for... Huh. Only for enchantments and stuff. I don't know why it's letting me put that there. Fuck. Fuck! What the fuck hit me, bro? Oh my god. The sniper. Jesus Christ, dude. You gotta be fucking shitting me. Ow. Ow. Can you stop? Can you stop? I'm dead. Fuck. I don't know. I'm just not good at that fight. Been streaming for an hour. fucked up. I don't know. I think it's about time I close the chapter on this Terraria playthrough. I call it quits. Took a break for a while. Some shit happened. And I don't know, I just don't feel like playing games anymore. I mean, I want to, I feel demoralized. I don't know if anything is for me anymore. I know nobody's out there, but I don't know, I just want to say something. I just want to keep myself distracted. I don't want to think about it anymore. No, I don't think it works like that. Maybe I won't call it quits completely. I just don't know what to do. I mean, I want to hang out with my friends on Discord. But it's not like they can fill the void. I'll be right back. I mean, I, I, I don't know. I'm gonna change the category. So honestly, I don't know what I want to do. I just wanted to, I don't know, just be here, just exist. Maybe I can watch a YouTube video or something. There was a couple videos I wanted to watch.
We're told from the start that Xehanort is the mastermind, the architect of darkness, the man who set the entire Kingdom Hearts saga in motion. And yeah, he believes that too. But what if it was never true? What
Uh,
if the entire time Xehanort wasn't a player at all? What if he was just a pawn? Let's lay this out. Every version of Xehanort's plans fail. He grows up on Destiny Islands dreaming of other worlds, and when he finally gets out, what happens? He becomes a keyboard. What if
okay,
he
I'm not
he's the
gonna
man? We're told from
just
the
play it
start
without talking,
that
so hold
Xehanort is
on.
the mastermind,
I was trying
the
to just set it up
architect of
properly.
darkness, the man who said.
One who couldn't keep it together.
We're told from the start that Xehanort is the mastermind, the architect of darkness, the man who set the entire Kingdom Hearts saga in motion.
Well, I mean, if you play Dark Road and you know about his origin, you know that it's about his curiosity with what happened in the Keyblade War, trying to fix the world that he sees as broken. At first, his intention seems strictly malicious, and we weren't very sure why, or sorry, how he came to the conclusion that he did until we got some backstory in Dark Road and a bit in I guess a bit in KH3. Um, it seems like with Dark Road and more context with the Master of Masters that Xehanort was also piece pawn rather on the chessboard. Um, and it's yeah, it's hard to they don't really he doesn't seem like that. He seems like he's very much the one pushing his narrative or pushing his destiny forward or whatever you want to call it. He definitely seems like he's acting within free will. Like he made such complicated plans that there's no way that someone's using him, right? Right. And then we get to that scene with the Master of Masters giving him the the black cloak for the first time. And then and then I feel like that just makes it seem like it just screams like, oh, he's being used. Like this was all the Master of Masters' plan instead of all Xehanort's plan. Um, I think nearing the end of his age, his brittle body, I think he became slightly more desperate and more extreme with his measures, which, led him to try and get a new vessel, try and start the war right there. I'm not sure, I can't remember exactly why he tried to do all of it at once. I think there was a reason why. I just could not figure it out. And then, what I'm curious of is like which Xehanort decided to go back and, oh no, I remember. It was the apprentice Xehanort that had regained his memories that went back in time, I believe. Or was it? I don't know if Prentice Xehanort regained his memories before being sent back in time, like splitting into Ansem and going back in time, and uh Xemnas at the same time. Um, because of Xehanort, original Xehanort, um, like where was his memories? Was his memories dormant until Sora defeated defeated Xemnas and Ansem, and then recompleted Xehanort? Is that when he got back his memories? Because he tried again to do the thing, the frickin' he was trying to get 13 darknesses in Dream Drop Distance. And then and then that plan was like foiled, but he was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter because I've been recompleted anyway." but still. I mean, back to like what this video was trying to say. Xehanort couldn't keep it together because he was getting old. He he couldn't completely find the answer to his question about the Lost Masters, so he had to force Kingdom Hearts through the X Blade, the Key Blade, and that was his ultimate. Like that was the last thing. Like I'm pretty sure he didn't want to do it. It was like a last resort. I mean, he was an old man by the time he decided to do it. So yeah, I believe there is some desperation there. Let's just play this and see what it says.
And yeah, he believes that too. But what if it was never true? What if the entire time Xehanort wasn't a player at all? What if he was just a pawn? Let's lay this out. Every version of Xehanort's plans fail. He grows up on Destiny Islands dreaming of other worlds, and when he finally gets out, what happens? He becomes a Keyblade wielder, trains at Scala Kylum, and gets sucked into ideology wars with his best friend Ericus. Already he's echoing a pattern he doesn't realise he's trapped in. And then he splits himself. Heartless, Nobody, Terra Xehanort, Apprentice Xehanort, Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness, Semnus. A literal mess of fragments trying to force Kingdom Hearts into being. All of it collapses. And even when he assembles the real
Yeah,
Organisation 13, that fails too.
yeah.
Sora wins.
Well,
Again.
does he?
You'd think,
Does he though? Apparently, darkness prevails and light expires in one of those times. But did Sora erase that from existence? He changed history itself. And it's not a new timeline, it is the same timeline but changed. I'm just curious if that's what it is.
a mastermind would have mastered something. But the truth is, he never achieves his goal. Not once. And that's important because if Xehanort was really in control of the game, why does he lose every single round? Let's go back to that chessboard. In Kingdom Hearts 3, we see a young Xehanort and Ericus play. At first, it looks symbolic, but it's not just a metaphor, it's foreshadowing. The board changes, the rules shift. Ericus makes a move Xehanort doesn't expect, and suddenly the game isn't over. New pieces enter. The future isn't set. But here's the kicker. Xehanort isn't just reacting on the board, he's doing that in the narrative too. Young Xehanort literally gets his plan from a version of him that's already lived it. That's not a strategy. That's recursion. He is running a playbook that he didn't even write. And this brings us to something that really seals the deal. The character files don't include any of Xehanort's Dark Road backstory. None of it. You know, the part where he talks to the Master of Masters, the part where we understand what shaped him, the tragedy, the loneliness, the manipulation. Gone. Now, don't get me wrong, the character files does include some Union Cross stuff. We get stuff about Ventus, Streliza, even Donald and Goofy, but somehow none of Xehanort's formula
Even
arc
Donald and
makes the
Goofy.
cut. And that's not just a weird oversight, that's deliberate narrative silence. Even within the canon, the official character compendium, Xehanort is being erased. He doesn't even get one unified entry. He's chopped up into bits: Apprentice Xehanort, Master Xehanort, Young Xehanort, but not whole. Maleficent gets more pages than those sections do. Pete gets more. Dark Riku, Luxford, Vexen. Ericus doesn't even get an entry. He's just a footnote in Scala Kylum. They're not documenting a mastermind, they're documenting a failed experiment. So what if Xehanort wasn't running the game, then who was? Well, we've talked about this before, but the answer seems pretty clear: the Master of Masters. He's the only one with true foresight. He sees everything through the Keyblade's eye. He literally disappears from time and space, only to re-emerge exactly when he needs to. And who ends up carrying his will? Not Lucio, not the foretellers, it's Xehanort. From childhood to death, Xehanort's journey mirrors the Master of Masters' plan. Golden eyes, obsession with balance, willingness to fracture his own
Well, I
heart for a
mean,
higher cause.
yeah, I mean,
Was Xehanort ever truly free, or was he
long story short, yeah, he's being used as a pawn by the master.
groomed from the beginning to fail, just so that the
That much is
next phase
obvious.
could begin? Xehanort isn't the villain we thought he was. He's not the mastermind, he's a mechanism. A man who believed he could change fate only to realize he was just another part of someone else's prophecy. And when you really look at it, his story ends in pity, not power. His legacy is a failure. His reward is oblivion. He thought he was a player, but he was just the opening move.
It was just the opening move. Wow. It's a good way to say it. I like that. This channel, Lore by Spec, it's a really good channel.
We've always been told that the Book of Prophecy predicts the future, and that it shows what to come, and that those who hold it have knowledge of what will happen. But what if that's not true? What if the book
So, the Book of Prophecies from, well, it was first mentioned in Union Cross, or whatever the fuck it was called back then. And it's very, very important because it is a book that tells the future. Um, and apparently it's supposed to be written through the eye that is in the Keyblade that Lushu carries. So we've seen that eye, well, I mean, very similar to it on Riku's Keyblade a long time ago. And his like sword thing that he had in Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories. Sorry. But yeah, Lushu wasn't allowed to see the Book of Prophecies for the reason of, you know, temporal paradox or whatever the fuck. But what if he did see it? What if he saw the book? What if Lushu went and read the book? And that's why he's so, I don't know, he seems so sure of himself as Zigbar. Seems like he knows exactly what's gonna happen and like he's just laughing at us because we have no idea. I would hate to see Lushu with a Keyblade. Um, Zigbar actually use the Keyblade because in what's it called? In Dark Road, when we found out one of them was Lushu, um, there was a small like scuffle with Lushu and the other Keyblade Masters, and Lushu completely handled them, like holding back his power type of thing. And we see Zigbar get defeated by Sora and you know also by Terra. So it makes me think like I don't know if he lost on purpose or if he's holding back or whatever, but I know that when he dealt with the other Keyblade wielders, he completely destroyed them. So that's one thing I was kind of interested in seeing, like Lushu, Zigbar with a Keyblade in the future.
book isn't just predictive, but recursive?
But wait, let me rewind this all the way. The Book of Prophecies specifically, um, I'm not sure why it or how the Master of Masters uses it. I'm not sure how I'm just thinking about it because like Luciu gets the book, he goes into the future. No, I mean he sees the future through, and the master writes the book. Like who wrote the book? The master writes the book, right? And if he's writing it by seeing through the eye of the Keyblade, then he must. I mean, he knows that Luciu is up to something because he called him Traitor Luciu, and saying that, like him saying that, just makes me think there actually was a traitor, like it wasn't a lie the whole time. Because in um in Union Cross, we're meant to think the whole traitor thing between the Union leaders is a farce. Like there is no traitor, and it was meant to stir confusion and mistrust. But if the master is candidly saying that Luciu is the traitor, then that kind of like throws a wrench in the whole thing a bit. It's like, what do you mean he's a traitor? Now, the foretellers themselves were brought to the present time after the events of Kingdom Hearts 3, and I get that it pretty much means that their task is not over. Like, how did I don't know, I'm not sure how did this happen. Musu, what was it? What's his name? The super leader, the unicorn guy, but he's like, "Are you the one that summoned us back?" And I'm like, "How could they get summoned back? What happened to them? Didn't they die on the battlefield or something? Because that seems like, I don't know, something that I need to know. Like maybe their hearts weren't completely lost. Either way, Luciu just ends up summoning all of them except Ava for some reason. Um, which means yeah, they didn't die on that day in Union Cross, or rather, something happened that we weren't told yet, or something happened that made it so that though the foretellers were okay. And if you think about it, it's like, damn, the Master of Masters actually made sure that you're okay. Well, actually, maybe he didn't make sure of it, but maybe Luciu is the good guy, and he wanted to save his friends, the foretellers. So he's gonna betray the Master, and that's what's going on. But there's always, that. All right, let's hear about the Book of Prophecies.
We've always been told that the Book of Prophecy predicts the future, and that it shows what to come, and that those who hold it have knowledge of what will happen. But what if that's not true? What if the book isn't just predictive but recursive, rewriting history to guarantee that its own future comes to pass? Let's start with what we do know. In Union Cross, the Book of Prophecy supposedly contains everything that will happen. The Master of Master gives a copy to each of the foretellers with one key exception. Everybody has a page except one. This missing page becomes the catalyst for distrust and collapse. The book of prophecies that a traitor will emerge, but is that traitor real? Or does the prophecy create the conditions that make the betrayal inevitable? This is where things get weird because the book doesn't describe the future, the book causes the future, and then ensures that it always happens the same way, every time. We see this happen again when Maleficent tries to use the datascape in Union Cross to
Wait a minute. She's right. In this scene with Maleficent, she's faced with the terrible reality that no matter what she does, it stays the same. And then darkness shows up and says, yeah, because it was written. Not it's not written because it happened. It happened because it was written. Oh my God. Because but like logically it doesn't make sense because we're told, which might be a lie now that I'm thinking about it, but we were told, Lushu was told about the eye in his Keyblade seeing the future and that being how the book of prophecy is written. I'm not sure how the book of prophecies is like what dictating or like somehow is like has a spell over the future. Like what if Sora is outside of the the book of prophecies now? What if he the whole time he was just the whole Kingdom Hearts universe, every game that we've played has just been within the book of prophecies, physically, the world of the book. And now that Sora is gone or whatever, he's gone to Quadratum or whatever 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 it's called, I don't know. Uh that he is outside of the predicted world of the book of prophecies. Huh.
return to her own time. But she can't escape. The data has loops, time loops, events reset. She's told outright this world is a recording, a playback, something that already happened, locked in place. It's unchangeable. That's not a prediction, that's a constraint. There's also something weird about how we never actually see the book. In the mobile games and back cover, we're constantly told about the book's power, but we're never shown the actual pages. There's no logs of events like the Ansem reports. No real time reactions. No one disputes the book's contents because they all believe it. But that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. If the book says something happens, it happens. Not because it was going to, but because it must now. And that's what makes it recursive. The book writes a prophecy, the characters act accordingly to that prophecy, and their actions make the prophecy come true. But if that's the case, who's really in control? Is it the Master of Masters or is it the book itself?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if man, it just makes me think like if the master told Lushu you're not allowed to get the book. Well, I don't know if he said it, but yeah, you said it. Like, you can't get the book. It'll cause temporal paradox. How would that make sense if no matter what Lushu does, the future will just happen? Is he like the initial, like he is the book of prophecies? As dumb as that sounds, he is the initial step. Like he is the first chapter always of the book of prophecies. I don't even know what I'm thinking anymore.
Here's where things get even more suspicious. The Master of Masters allegedly wrote the book based on what he saw through the gazing eye.
Hmm.
But the eye records the future, not the past. And that means the book was written after the events it describes. So how did it end up in the past? It's a bootstrap paradox. The books couldn't exist without the events, but the events only happen because the books exist. There's no true origin. And that's the trick. What if the book is less of a manuscript and more just a script? Something that must be followed because the world would rewrite itself until the script is fulfilled. Think about it. The world of Union Cross ends, the foretellers disappear, the Keyblade War resets everything, and yet the book survives. We don't see it
Sorry.
again until Back Cover and Dark Road, but its impact never stops. The true future it describes is still unfolding across the series, even centuries later. But what if the book isn't just a record, but a failsafe? A system that preserves the outcome it wants by locking the universe into a narrative loop. Not a prophecy, a correction.
Bro, like this kind of would imply that it's all just data. Like it's all just data. But then there's data worlds already. So what is real? If the book of prophecies is determining the future, nobody has free will. What is real? Is the world just the book of prophecies? If the book of prophecies didn't exist, what would this world be? I mean, what would the world be? It's really putting the the Kingdom Hearts universe into like this box where it has just been the book of prophecies the whole time. Okay.
A script with no room for improvisation. And anyone who tries to change the script, like Maleficent, gets rejected by the system. She's not just trapped in data, she's trapped in a past the book won't let her change. And now here's the kicker. What is the Book of Prophecy anyway? We've only ever seen one copy in back cover. We assume that's what it looks like, but in Kingdom Hearts 2, Jens is used as a book to show Sora, Donald, and Goofy what lies ahead. That book literally displays the events of the past, present, and potential future. No one calls it a book of prophecy, but isn't that what it is? Why don't we question that? Why
Potential
do we
future
trust
though.
some books more than others? Because the book of prophecy doesn't ask for your trust, it writes itself. And whether you realize it or not, you're already living.
Well, hold on. I just want to bring up what you was talking about. Oh,
Uses a book to show Sora, Donald, and Goofy what lies ahead. That book literally displays the events of the past, present, and potential future. No one calls it a book of prophecy, but isn't that what
Um, no matter what, like, well, hold on. That book that she was talking about. I'm not sure exactly what in the future things that it says, but books talking about the past, that's fine. Anything talking about the future, that's where you draw a red flag.
it is? Why don't we question that? Why do we trust some books more than others? Because the book of prophecy doesn't ask for your trust, it writes
And we
itself.
also know, like,
And whether you realize it or not, you're already living in its pages.
the 100 Acre Wood is, also just in a book, is it not? But the thing is that is also in this fucking data world thing that I'm thinking of. So it's like Kingdom Hearts unseen truths, logic behind nobodies.
Let's talk about nobodies, because the logic behind them, it's broken. According to the games, a nobody is what's left when someone with a strong heart loses it. The heart becomes a heartless. The body and soul become a nobody. Simple enough, right? Except nothing in Kingdom Hearts ever stays simple. See, the rulebook says that nobodies can't act on their own. They're shells. Empty. No will, no drive. That's why Organization 13 exists. To lead them, control them, to give the nothingness a voice. But here's the problem: there are nobodies out in the lanes between, and no one is supposed to be there. That's space, it's darkness, pure, uncut. The connection tissue between the worlds where Heartless are born and the laws of light start to rot. It makes sense for darkness to exist there. It's its natural habitat, but nothingness? That shouldn't even register. And yet we see dust.
So, but it's just another one of those fucking Kingdom Hearts bullshit terms. Like nobodies and nothingness. It's all physical and tangible. So, like the realm in between the realm of nothing, uh, those are just realms, dog. Like just straight up, and they just would like to call it some edgy shit, you know? Emptiness, fucking, they have no emotion. Like that might be true, but then they started to get all edgy with it and say like, "Oh, we're nobodies. We live in nothing, the world of nothing."
Dusk ships drifting through the lanes like it's just another Tuesday. No organization member in sight, no command structure, just autonomous nobodies operating in darkness, existing where they shouldn't exist. That's not a lore gap, that's a red flag, because if Dusks don't need a controller, if they can function without Xemnas or Syx giving them orders, then what's the point of the organization at all? And if they do need control, then something else is commanding them now. So let's peel this apart, because there are three lenses we can look this through, and all of them make this situation worse. The rules don't add up if a nobody is made out of a body of a soul and then missing a heart, which means it shouldn't be able to feel or remember, right? Except we have Axel, Rox's nominee. All clearly feel, all clearly remember. By the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, we learn that nobodies can grow hearts, that they always had them in a sense. So that's either a retcon or the organization lied. If it's the latter, that's messed up. They didn't just recruit shells, they brainwashed real people into believing they were empty. Weapons that didn't think they had souls. If it's the former, if the nobody system has always included heart, then the entire metaphysical model collapses, because that means nothingness was never real, or it was just another form of being. So
That's okay. Yeah, yeah. It's another just form of being, is what I'm saying. Like getting caught up on these terms is really just messing up
either way, the logic
the
fails.
theories.
And the dusks floating in the lane between, that's just exhibit A. The scars between the worlds, between the lanes, were never meant to be highways. They're scars, stitches holding worlds together after KH1 shattered reality. If darkness is the absence of light, then maybe nothing is the absence of both. So kind of a cosmic dead zone. So what if dusks aren't true nobodies?
So I need to pause because I just thought of something. So at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, or sorry, the secret ending or ending, whichever one it was, it says reconnect Kingdom Hearts. I'm pretty sure. So I think reconnect might be a way of them hinting to us that the worlds are going to reconnect. The, at the start, the Age of Fairy Tales, all the worlds were one and they were connected. And because of the Keyblade War or whatever really happened, um, the worlds were shattered, split apart, overtaken by darkness? Question mark. So I think that might be a thing that they'll try to do. I'm not really sure how. I'm not really, but I think, yeah. Imagine if they just reconnected all of these worlds. Then uh Rapunzel could go to Elsa's wedding or whatever it is.
What if they're fragments left over from when the world were reconnected? Echoes of people who were never meant to be restored? Glitches in creation? They don't serve the organization because they predate it. They serve the system, the universe unto itself, cleaning up after the apocalypse. Which means that these nobodies are really something else entirely. Something much older. Something more fundamental. Then there's someone pulling the strings of the Organization 13's whole issue and idea of control, their command. But the Dusks in the lane between don't follow those rules. They don't patrol the world that never was. They don't show up around Zemnis or Roxas. They show up in space. So who sent them? Zemnis? Maybe. The data remnant of Ansem the Wise? Possible. Or maybe, and this is the fun part, the
Pretty
lanes
sure it was
between
Zemnis.
themselves could be learning. When Aqua and Terra first crossed those lanes, they were clean, empty. But every crossing, every corridor of darkness, every broken rule contaminated them. So maybe what we're seeing isn't nobody's being sent. Maybe we're seeing the system reacting, creating its own antibodies. Dusks that act as border patrol at the edges of existence. Because someone, not because someone commanded it, but because someone broke the universe. The walls you begin to see are thinning, and Kingdom Hearts runs on three constants: light, darkness, and nothing. But what happens when those three start bleeding together?
Damn.
Heartless made of
I've
light,
never upgraded
nobody's
the gummy
moving through
ship into.
darkness.
I'd
Inverse
never do the
glitches
gummy
into
ship
reality.
stuff.
It's all mixing, and that's the scariest part, because when systems start blending, definitions disappear. Darkness isn't just where heartless live, and nothingness isn't just the absence of a heart. They're merging, corrupting each other. If dusks can survive in the lanes between, it means that the borders between darkness and nothing don't really exist anymore. The universe isn't balancing, it's fraying. So maybe this isn't an accident. Maybe this is what happens when somebody starts rewriting the rules, because if nobody can survive in darkness, then someone changed the definition of nothing. And if that's true,
The
then
definition
whoever
of
is rewriting
nothing.
reality isn't done yet.
Yeah, honestly. Bring up some good points. But I'm not too sure about the realm between border thing, because I do think Zemnis has a very strong influence on them. And he could just put them wherever he wants, kind of thing.
Quadratum is
Quadratum. So I started playing The World Ends With You, and my goodness, it's a very difficult game when you're playing on emulator. So I'm having some trouble. Uh, Quadratum. The 104 building is from The World Ends With You. And in that game, I'm not really, I'm not very far at all, apparently. I've only gone up to like, I think day 3 or 4. I'm just, you know, trying to pay attention to what's happening. And um, yeah, it's very similar to what Sora's situation seems to be. So, yeah.
It's in a city. It isn't a world. It's a cage. A trap. And Sora? He's right in the middle. We see this in the trailer. Strelitzia says you've been asleep since you arrived in this world 7 days ago. This is Quadratum. It's a world full of life, but for you and I, it's similar to an afterworld, I suppose. 7 days asleep. A city full of life. But Sora? He has no frame of reference for that. He's an island kid. The only towns he's seen is Traverse Town, Twilight Town, tiny towns. And now he's in this metropolis. He doesn't know how to process it. He's disorientated, confused, suspended. And that afterworld comment? Strelitzia isn't dead, at least according to the character files. She's, quote, disappeared. But she speaks as if they are. And Sora, he doesn't know. Or maybe he is. Either way, perception here is being manipulated. He's held in stasis, observed, tested. And then there's this unknown male voice, probably the Master of Masters. If this is not the ending you desired, if it brings you despair, then leave this world for another. Your options are
So I just wanted to bring up this cutscene, the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4, which was a long time ago.
this unknown male voice.
This is supposed to be another realm entirely. And I think I'm pretty sure this is the place that the Master of Masters brought up near the end of Union Cross when he was talking to Darkness. But um it's kind of hinted, or it's kind of like when you watch this trailer,
Probably the Master of Masters.
you're meant to see like they're like normal. They're like they look like real. It feels like they're trying to emulate the real world. Like this guy's on his cell phone, buildings and stuff. And then this dark,
If this is not the
heartless
ending you
shows up.
desired, if it brings you despair, then leave this world for another. Your options are endless. However, if you do leave this world behind, don't expect to return to the one from which you came. Endless options, but one way? Leave. But don't come back. Closed loop. Contained, curated, trapped. Where have we heard that before? And here's where things get interesting. A commenter left a comment, and I keep thinking about it. Strelitzia might not be alive. This could be a replica, like Replica in Chain of Memories, convincing enough to be real, but not original. And Sora, his heart, his pure little heart, he sees it as real. That's how it works.
Huh.
Think about that. Quadratum isn't just physical, it's social. The people around Sora could be simulations, constructs designed to shape him, to keep him contained. And this fits a larger pattern in Kingdom Hearts. Kairi in Melody of Memory, asleep, heart explored by the gang in Radiant Garden. Sora in Kingdom Hearts 2 was asleep for a year from Chain of Memories. Memories reconstructed, reshaped, curated. Dream drop distant. Riku and Sora end up in the same town. Same space, separate dimensions. Where have we seen that parallel before? Gummy maps across Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, Melody of Memory. Circles, branching into circles, always curated path. Every journey is controlled.
I never played Melody of Memory.
Every escape is illusionary. Quadratum fits this pattern perfectly. 7 days asleep, a city that confuses him, replicas all around, curated pathways, closed loops. And then
That's
there's
like
Riku, the secret trailer
The
shows him
gummy
there,
routes,
but he
though.
doesn't interact with Sora. Same as in Dream Drop Distance. Same as in the previous separation pattern. Riku exists, Sora remains isolated. Even anomalies like him can be contained. And this full of life language, it's disorientating, alien. Sora has never been in a modern metropolis. It's
Disorientating?
like everything is set to confuse
Isn't it
him, to make
disorienting?
him rely on instinct, on heart. Exactly what this system wants. Quadratum isn't a world, it's a system, a layered prison. And Sora, he's an anomaly. The heart out of place, suspended, observed, curated, and he doesn't even know it.
Hmm. I mean, interesting to think that Quadratum could just be another realm, you know? Like a prison realm, as she puts it.
The final world. This isn't an afterlife. It isn't neutral. It isn't peaceful. It's a holding pattern, a glitch, a world caught between continuing and ending, where nothing moves and nothing fades. You arrive, and the only company are fragments, pieces of hearts, echoes of people who can't move on, clinging to the memories that hurt them the most because it's all they have left. Stars that lament, that remain because they can't let go of the lives they've lost. This world doesn't allow closure, it refuses it. And then Sora arrives. But he doesn't arrive whole, not physically, not spiritually. He's scattered, literally and conceptually, reduced to fragments of himself, and the only way out is to gather them all. It's a strange scene. There's nothing here, no landmarks, no context, no meaning. Just you floating through a blank space collecting 111 pieces of yourself. It's almost mechanical, a test, a simulation. And the only voice guiding you? A charity. But not your charity, not your guide. Someone else's.
Yeah, that's Ven's Chirithy.
Ven's.
Yeah.
And that's where things start to break because Charity tells Sora, "You've been here before, you choose to come here." But Sora doesn't remember any of that. Neither do we. This is new, and yet somehow it isn't. So why is Charity here? Why is Ven's spirit guide in this place at all? Because this isn't just a neutral meeting point. This is a place where people linger, where hearts are fragmented, where closure doesn't exist, where only the unresolved remain. Why would a Cherith choose to wait here? If Ven has passed on peacefully, or even if his story could have ended cleanly somewhere else, why linger in purgatory? Why not the afterlife or a world where things resolve naturally? Because Charity must know that Ven's path will never be simple. That he won't arrive in a place where endings are clean or easy. That's the tell. Ven's Charity is waiting in limbo because limbo is where Ven's story is destined to be incomplete. It's subtle, terrifying. Even his guide expects that he will not pass on peacefully. And that would also mean something else. Because Charity were created by the Master of Masters. They're his messengers. It's his system, his eyes and ears. So if one is present even here,
I just want to bring up the Cherokees a bit. The Cherokees are like so confusing to me because I'm not very sure why the Master of Masters made the Cherokees. They're like Dream Eaters type shit. Like he made Dream Eaters and Cherokees were the first Dream Eaters. Not wait. There's the Dream Eaters that Sora meets are actually um the players, the old Keyblade masters or whatever, Keyblade wielders from Union Cross, I believe. Sorry. Um, I'm not. That just makes me think. So, was it completely intended that the Master of Masters wanted the Cherokees to um give the hearts a choice to either be reincarnated or something, and the other thing was like they get turned into Dream Eaters. It was something like that. I'm trying to remember exactly what they said, but yeah, no, Union Cross is such a long ass game. I need to watch everything again. I might watch it actually, the demo um YouTube video.
At the edge of life and death, that means his reach extends further than anyone has realized, even to the end of the world itself. And that's not something you can fight. Then we find Namine, a voice, a memory, a lamenting star. She tells Sora Kairi is preventing you from fading away. Which means the only reason Sora isn't lost here forever is because someone else is holding on for him. And the nameless stars? They're the warning. They tell us exactly what this place is. A world where people cling because there's nothing else to do. If there was a way to move on, they would have taken it. But there isn't. There is only waiting. And that's the point. Staying here was never truly a choice. This world exists to remind you that everything here is broken, stuck, not by accident, by design. Ven's Cherokee waiting in limbo, Sora forced to reassemble himself like a puzzle, Naminé and the stars whispering from the cracks. It all says the same thing. This isn't a place for endings. It's a place where endings fail to happen. And that's worse than death. Because it means that the Master's reach and the system he built continues. Even here. Even at the end of everything. Everything ends in the final world. Except the things that aren't supposed to.
Hmm. Well, it's very interesting. Honestly, I didn't have much to say about that. Because it's a theory. It makes sense, honestly, but I'm not too sure if the Master of Masters is able to see through the Cherokees. The Cherokees are part of his plan, that's for sure. That is 100%. But yeah, I think I'm gonna, yep, call it the stream here. But yeah, if anybody sees this, please subscribe to Lore by Spec. Uh, you know, Kingdom Hearts theories. We need those. We need more of those. Um, the Kingdom Hearts content is we are not getting much when it comes to updates or anything about Kingdom Hearts 4 or any other game for that matter, besides ones that they're canceling. And it's just kind of, I don't know, it's sad to see. Um, yeah, I'm out of here. Later.